Hello YouTube community, it's Robert S. and today's video is actually a contest entry for the one and only Canadian Studmuffin Larry Graves. So Larry is running a contest in which he would like us to create 5 double albums from 10 albums that were released as, single albums. And he's set forth a number of rules that I'm going to sort of try to read off quickly. Honestly, I think this is one of the more challenging contests on YouTube, but here goes. He asks us to create 5 double albums out of 2 albums that were recorded around the same time. Now, around the same time is somewhat vague. What I've done is I said, okay, you know what? For purposes of this video, around the same time means within a 12-month period. Not necessarily the same year, but in under 12 months. And as it turns out, the 5 I've picked, I think the most time in between was 9 or 10 months. Anyway, he says that these 2 albums should sound similar enough to work as one double album. He wants us to name the album and, if possible, create an album cover. Show which sides would be sides 1, 2, 3, and 4, or, discs 1 and 2, without changing the song order as the album was released. Then he wants us to, and this is very important apparently, to put a video link in the comment section of his video. So we obviously need to make a video. And he's offering up an Amazon gift card, $50 Canadian. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to rise to the challenge. And I think what I picked out are 5 double albums that will work. Fingers crossed. So here goes. Number 1. And I should also say, I don't have all of these albums. These are all groups you know, and many of you probably have these albums. I personally don't. There are 2 of the 5 groups where I actually have the albums, and I'll show them. If I don't have them, I'll flash the album images up on the screen. I'll show you the track listings I have and the alternate covers if there are any album covers. So anyway, I'm going to start with, and I wrote these down. Why don't we start with the Monkees? And what I'm doing here is I'm going to take this album, Headquarters, and combine it with, sorry about the glare, that's what you get with CDs, this album, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. So these were released, I think, 6 or 7 months of each other. And what I'll do is, let me show you the track listing for discs 1 and 2. And essentially, I'm taking Headquarters as disc 1. So side 1 and 2 of Headquarters will be 1 and 2 of the double album. And the Pisces album will be the second disc, and that'll be sides 3 and 4. So I'll show you those now. And for the Monkees album cover, I'm basically taking an alternative version, if you will, of the Headquarters cover, and the album will be called Words. Words is one of the songs. And as a matter of fact, I cheated a bit here. What I've done is the cover is actually from a picture sleeve from a 45. Next, let's turn to the Rolling Stones. Now, I have a lot of Rolling Stones, and I've got more compilations than I actually need, but I don't have these two albums that I'm going to talk about. And basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take their UK album Aftermath and combine it with Between the Buttons. I almost forgot what it was called. So I'll show you both those album covers. And then what I'm going to do is essentially Aftermath is going to be the first disc of the double album, and Between the Buttons is the second disc. So we've got sides 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'll show you those. And then for the album cover, I thought I would actually make up something completely different, and I'm calling it Yesterday's Papers. Okay, so for my third double album, let's go to the Beach Boys. And the Beach Boys had quite a few albums in their early years, and they had two that I think would fit together particularly well: Little Deuce Coupe and Shut Down Volume 2. And again, I don't have these albums, so I'll show you the covers. And what I would do is I would have Little Deuce Coupe as the first disc. So sides 1 and 2 of that album would be sides 1 and 2 of the new double album. And Shut Down Volume 2 would be disc 2, making up sides 3 and 4. And for the cover, I would go with an image of the Beach Boys, and the title of this new album would be Warmth of the Sun. For the fourth double album that I would make, I'm going to take Fleetwood Mac, and they released an album called Penguin, and shortly thereafter, they released another one called Mystery to Me. And actually, I have those, so I can show you those albums actually. If I can find out what I did with them. Here we go. Penguin. And Mystery to Me. And what I would do here is the Penguin album again would be disc 1, and that would make up sides 1 and 2. And this album, Mystery to Me, would be the second disc, and that would be sides 3 and 4. In terms of the album cover, I would actually go with this image right here. And what I would do is keep it in black and white, and all of their eyes would be green. And I would call the album Emerald Eyes, which is I think, the leadoff song on this album. Yes, it is. It's the first song on this album. So, Emerald Eyes, Fleetwood Mac in black and white with green eyes. And honestly, I think that double album would be an excellent follow-up to this fantastic album, Bare Trees. But again, I digress a little bit. Getting back to the contest now. For my fifth and last double album, I'm actually going to go to Jefferson Airplane. Jefferson Airplane had an album that was called After Bathing at Baxter's. And the follow-up to that, and I don't remember, I think it was 9 months, maybe 10 months later, was an album called Crown of Creation. I don't have either one of those albums, so I'll show images of those two here. And what I would do in this case, unlike all my others, I'm changing things up a bit. The first side of Crown of Creation would be side 1 of disc 1. After Bathing at Baxter's side 1 would be side 2 of this new album, so it would be the reverse side of disc 1. After Bathing at Baxter's side 2 would now be side 3 of the second disc of this double album, and Crown of Creation's side 2 would be side 4 of this new double album, and I'll show you those. And in terms of the album cover, it would be something completely different from what they had originally intended, and it would simply be called Fly. So that's it. Those are my 5 new double albums. And I want to thank Larry for doing this somewhat challenging contest. We have, I believe, I think he's doing the drawing on December 1st, so there's still time, and honestly, you'll need time if you're going to try to think of, 10 albums from 5 artists that were released within, a short period of time, make a video, and do all these other things that we have to do for it. But I want to wish everybody who enters well, good luck in the contest. And this was actually a lot of fun to think about. So thank you, Larry. And as I always say in my videos, stay well. And remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.